I feel like such a terrible mum. I honestly do. There's too much going on. So cut a long story short, where I am, you do have a lot of support and things you can do if you're on the pathway for your child's autism diagnosis, or if you suspect your child could have autism, or even if your child does have a diagnosis. And it's an autism advisory service. And there's also like a family hub that you can book sessions into. Now, Louis has really bad social anxiety to the point where he will, if someone talks to him or touches him or even looks at his way, he will stand there and freeze, but he won't make a sound, but his face will go red and his bottom lip will start dropping and the tears will start flowing. And this happens quite frequently. Now, I feel like this is my fault because I've never took him to baby groups, and I haven't because I have 4 other children on top of him, and I thought that would be enough for him to engage and sort of understand and learn from them, which I was wrong. I know I was wrong. And also, I suffer with anxiety myself. I don't really like going out alone. So anyway, I thought I will book him into, it's called speech and language play and stay session. Now, you don't need a referral for this. You could just ring up and book yourself in and turn up, which I did. I did do that today, and it was going so well. There was only 3 other children there, and although he wasn't engaging or playing with them, he was doing his own little things, and I was able to sort of notice that, you know, he doesn't like the touching sand or the feel of sand. He doesn't like water. I know he don't like water touching his hair or anything like that anyway. I was able to see, you know, how he plays with all these different things. Although we have a lot of things, there's lots of other things that he didn't play with before. And I thought, this is great. This is absolutely great. Anyway, so I left there. Then I went to the advisory autism service, which was a play and stay session for children who are on the pathway for a diagnosis, or who, if you think your child could be autistic, and they have multiple speech and language and OTs there. So I turned up, and yeah, the baby, Louis, literally just stuck to me like glue. He would venture out here and there, but he will always be back. Now, when everyone was doing, you know, the bucket, what's in the bucket, I took him over there and he stood there, and again, he just broke down, but he wouldn't make a noise, and I could see his bottom lip, so I said, Louis, come mummy, come mummy. They then started doing the foam. Again, another child had the foam in his hand, and because he put it on the baby's head, he literally froze, didn't know where to look, didn't want eye contact with no one, and just looked to the floor like that and stood there for a whole 2 minutes. Then again, the tears started streaming, and at that moment in time, I turned to the speech and language person, who I'm quite close with because she's dealt with Elsie and Oscar, and she knows me very well. And I just said, she was the one who told me to come to this. And I just said, my heart's breaking. I can't do this. Like, I feel terrible for him that I've put him in this vulnerable position and he feels like this. But what am I to do? What am I to do? You know, I'm trying my best to help him and to see if this social anxiety is because he's not used to being around people, and it might just end up going if I start taking him around people. But how am I to know if I don't do this? I just feel terrible. Anyway, bye guys.